Okay, so if you're a startup company who has decided to use the Node.js ecosystem to ship their very first product in their market, this video will help you a lot in choosing the tech stack. So let me explain what do I mean by that. So here I'm telling you that NestJS is the best choice for startups, especially in the Node.js based ecosystem. And let me explain that. So whenever you come into the Node.js ecosystem, the very first thing you listen about is that Express framework. Now Express is great. You have to write a lot more less boilerplate code and you can ship things faster, right? But let's say your startup goes well and you want to scale your team, you want to hire more developers. And I think that's where I would say Express will not help you a lot because it is unopinionated. So any developer coming into your startup will have to understand what's going on, right? That's where I think Nest will help you a lot, right? Because Nest emphasizes and enforce all that enterprise rules on your backend structure. And this is where I would say Nest will help you a lot. And the good news is that Nest is built on top of Express, right? And that will help you a lot as well. But moving on, whenever you emphasize on your startup and things goes well and your application, I would say, get a lot more traffic, that's where you will get a lot more problems, right? And that is where I think this Fastify comes into the picture, right? And Fastify is a framework similar to Express, but their benchmarks are great, I would say. So if you scroll down and just check out their benchmarks, they are claiming that they can serve nearly 46,000 of requests per second, which is way more as compared to Express, right? Now here you might be confused that whether you want to go with Fastify or Express or Nest, but let me solve that problem for you. The good news is that NestJS supports both the frameworks. So with NestJS, you can either go with Express or you can either go with Fastify. And let me explain that by an example. So if you come to the official documentation of Nest and just go into technique sections and just search for this performance, here you can see that by default, Nest uses Express framework. But if you really want to switch for getting that better performance of Fastify, you can even do that with just installing the Fastify package and just using that Fastify adapter in your main.ts, which is the entry point of NestJS application. With just these two things, you are ready to go and you will be switching from Express to Fastify and your startup will not be having those problems of scalability. And that's, I would say, kudos to NestJS team for building such an infrastructure. And the way Nest achieved this is by implementing a framework adapter. And if you come to the official documentation or official repository of Nest.js, and if you just scroll down to this packages folder, here you will be seeing that inside their core module, they are having the adapters. And at this point, they are having this HTTP adapter by which they are creating a generic class for HTTP adapter, which is handling all those request and response objects. And this adapter is being implemented by Fastify and Express both. So if you just come back to, I would say, Platform Express, at this point, if you go into adapters, you can see that this Express adapter is being extended from the same generic class, which was that abstract HTTP adapter. And same goes for the Fastify adapter as well. So if you come back and go to Fastify platform and just click on that adapter thing, if you scroll down, you can see that this is also being implemented with the same abstract HTTP adapter right over here. Okay. And that's how I would say NestJS has given you the feasibility to choose Express or Fastify depending on your use case, right? And this is one of the best example of, I would say, inheritance going on in the market. So if you want to explain how inheritance work to any individual, so I think this is the way to go. You can tell them that NestJS is using inheritance by which they have created a base class of an HTTP adapter, and then those are being extended by an Express adapter as well as a Fastify adapter. So hope this will help you out in choosing your tech stack if you're a startup which is working in Node.js ecosystem. So do let me know in the comment section what you think about NestJS.